doing?
Awesome. How you doing, boy? I appreciate you tuning into the stream, being our guest of the week. We got a big matchup. Excited to talk football with you, whatever our conversation leads to. Very low key. We're just talking, enjoying our Friday night before the big Sunday night game.
Perfect, perfect. How you feeling? You feeling fired up for Sunday night football? How you feeling right now?
I'm fired up. I always got to enjoy your team playing in prime time, right? Sunday night
Yep.
football. It's only week 2, so usually, when we're playing it on Sunday night, it's against the Packers. We're already coming in with no confidence, and it's like week 12, and we're 5-7 or whatever the case may be. So, we're playing the Houston Texans, and you guys are looking pretty good last couple of years. Not the old Texans that we're used to seeing usually, since you guys got C.J. Stroud, and gonna be a good game. Gonna be a good game. I think we a little bit since we saw Caleb's play in week 1, and we're not gonna take it too much to heart in terms of little disappointed in some of that offensive play that we saw week 1, but we got the W, rookie quarterback first game. So, you know, before last week, we were super excited. I mean, I might be speaking I'm speaking for myself, but maybe for other Bears fans too. Like, we had this game circled on the calendar, prime time week 2. What, the top 2 wide receiver trios in the league with our wide receivers?
Yep.
Unfortunately, 2 of ours aren't probably going to be playing, with Roma Dunes and Keenan Allen going to be a little banged up. But then after kind of what we saw from our offense last week, I think we got a little bit of a wake up call in terms of taking baby steps and walking before we can run. With the Not every rookie quarterback case is going to be C.J. Stroud, so you guys
Hey,
definitely set
that's
the
true.
tone with that. So
That's true.
looking forward to it. But yeah, what was I just had a couple of things that we can
Mhm.
kick off to chat about. First, I want to talk about your content before we jump into the game itself.
Okay.
Content
Okay.
creator myself, I would love to learn a little bit more. First of all, are you located in Houston, or are you located somewhere else?
I'm actually in Texas. I was born and raised in Houston, but I'm actually in the DFW area. A lot of people don't know that, so that's why it's so funny because they'd be like, "Hey, man, we need to go to the game and go to the bar." Like, man, hey, I was born in Houston, but I don't live anymore, so it's kind of hard. I try to make it to every game I can, even like this Sunday night. I would love to go to the Sunday night game, but might not happen. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm in Texas. Still enjoying that good old Texasness.
No, I used to
What
live in
about yourself? You
Austin,
Chicago?
Texas. I'm located in upstate New York. So my dad was
Oh,
born and
yep.
raised
Okay,
in
got you.
Chicago. I'm located in upstate New York, Albany and Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
But I go to Chicago. I try to go like there once a year. So me and my dad's bucket list is to watch a Bears game in every stadium. So we
Okay.
got like 6 out of 30 stadiums circled. We're going to the Arizona Cardinals this year, but the Houston Texan one was the game that was circled on our calendar. It was just a little bit too early in the season for us because
Mhm.
with our work schedules and stuff. But I
Yeah.
was eyeing that one. I was really trying to go to that one for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a big game. Like you said, two young quarterbacks who's probably going to be prime players in a couple years. Going to be the guys leading the league. It's going to be exciting. I enjoy watching the Hard Knocks with the Bears in there, learning more about Caleb and the team. And it looks like y'all was gelling. It looked like the team was coming together. Like you said, it's probably going to be tough if there's no Rome or there's no Keenan Allen and everyone be just focused on DJ Moore and stopping the run game. But I think all in all, Sunday night game, primetime game, who knows? When the lights come on, some players play different. So maybe Caleb Williams come out there and just throw 4 touchdowns on our head. We don't know yet. We don't know what primetime Caleb Williams looked like. So I'm not taking this game as a throwaway. I mean, I would love to be like, oh yeah, whatever, blowout. This should be a guaranteed win. But any given Sunday.
No, no, yeah, for sure. And you mentioned the running game. That's where we did not have any efficiency last
Mhm.
week against the Tennessee Titans. I had the DeAndre Swift player prop, for rushing yards over just 42
Yep.
rushing yards and his receiving yards of just 11 and a half, thinking, all right, they're going to make it easy for the rookie
Yep.
quarterback. Run the ball, create play action, low screen passes. We've seen it all throughout training camp and preseason. And then when it came to the game, they couldn't
Yep. Threw
establish
it
the
out the
run,
window.
or there was a lack of effort to establish. I think we had probably like 16 carries total,
Yep.
um, and we just didn't establish the run. So that's one of my big keys to, the Bears pulling out a W this Sunday, is to making sure, we got to establish a run game, get in the play
Stick with the
action
run
pass,
game.
get in the rookie quarterback on prime time, like the nerves out of his system. As much as he said he's never nervous or this or that,
Mhm.
you know, everyone gets a little nervous for a second day on the job, especially when the bright
Yep.
lights are on. So yeah, establishing the running game is extremely important for us. How are you feeling after your guys' week 1 win against the Colts, and maybe kind of taking that a step back before week 1? Like, what are and maybe if you're speaking on behalf of Texans Nation, like
Mhm.
what are your guys' expectations this year? Because obviously you guys are a little bit more in the national media now. Everyone's talking about CJ and
Yeah,
Texans,
yeah.
AFC contenders, maybe the only other team that can take down Patrick Mahomes. So, what is your personal expectations for the team this season?
I think before we got Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs, we wanted to at least make it to the AFC Championship. But I feel like now the Texans pushed all their chips to the table. They pushed everything in the middle. They said, "Hey, well, let's go for it all." I'm thinking they're hoping that the Chiefs have a not so much a fall off season, but a fatigue season. They've been in the Super Bowl multiple years back to back to back. So this is your chance to get them where they're, I would say, drained, tired. This is your chance to go. This is your window. You have Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. So far, everyone seems healthy. Everyone seems as healthy as possible. Um, you have D'Amico Ryans, who's a great coach. Bobby Slowick, who's probably going to be a head coach candidate next year again. So I think all the pieces are there. So I'm gonna say Super Bowl. I think a lot of people say Super Bowl. I might be far fetched on that one, but the way the landscape of the league is right now, you have a quarterback on a rookie deal. You just got through paying one of your receivers. You're going to have to pay your cornerback next year. Money's going to go fast. Even though the salary cap is going to get higher and higher, your window closes really fast. And I tell everybody, I use the Bills for an example. The Bills had a nice open window, and it shut really quick on them because they kept running to the Kansas City Chiefs. So hopefully, this is the year the Texans can get to the AFC Championship, win that game, and we'll be in New Orleans. So I'm gonna say Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think you're too far fetched at all at saying that because you're not the only one, myself included, and a lot of national
Mhm.
media experts and insiders, so to speak, got them going in a deep playoff push, maybe even competing with the Chiefs for that AFC Championship, depending on how the bracket lays out. Your guys' offense is loaded. You guys on Stephon Diggs, like you mentioned, or traded for Stephon Diggs, right? Traded, right? Yeah, traded.
Yeah, we traded for him. Yep,
Traded
yep,
for
yep,
him. Signed Joe Mixon.
yep.
He had a big game. What, a buck 50
Yes,
plus, 159 rushing yards
yes.
against the Colts. We got to make sure we stop that run, which I think I'm not too worried about our defense matching up with your guys' offense, to be honest.
Mhm.
Just because I believe we have one of the top secondaries in the league, Jalen Johnson,
Yes. Yes, you
Tyreek
do.
Stevenson, Kyler Gordon. You got
Yep.
Brisker as
You
a
got Sweat
safety.
off
You
the
got
edge, right?
and then
You got Sweat off the edge, right?
Sweat
Is
off
it
the edge.
Montez?
He's gonna get chipped. He's gonna get double covered. So it really
Yeah,
depends on what productivity we get on the opposite side. Whether that is
yeah.
Darrell Taylor that we traded a 6 round pick for, he had a strip sack fumble. Whether that is
Okay.
Walker that had a couple big plays last week. Whether that's Austin Booker the rookie, he didn't really do too much last week, but Montez Sweat is a beast. He's a dog. He's gonna
Yes,
eat,
he
but he's
is.
gonna get double teamed. So you're hopefully, I mean, hopefully we do hear his name and get in the backfield and putting pressure on CJ, but we'll see how that really goes depending on scheme and how that all is going to play out. But how do you guys feel about after your week 1 divisional rival win? There's some
You,
big
yep.
thumbs up for a lot of different aspects of the game from that one.
Oh yeah. During the game, I was, happy, enjoyed it. I enjoyed the win. Anytime you get a division win, you're happy. So I'm excited. I'm glad we got out there. It was tough. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like we gave them points that they shouldn't have. I feel like the block punt that threw me for a loop a little bit. Got kind of scared right there. Those Anthony Richardson bomb plays that kind
That
of
was
got me a little scared right there. So trust me, in third quarter, I was like, okay, cool, good win. And then start getting close to the fourth. I was like, all right, now y'all don't be like the old Texans and get this game away. Keep this game going. That's one thing I love about having Joe Mixon. People thought Joe Mixon was done, thought he was washed. And to have him and have a run game to lean on that we haven't had, I would really say maybe since Lamar Miller, I would go farther say Arian Foster that you can depend on that says, hey, we have the lead, we have a running back. Let's lean on this running back to kill this clock and get a first down and win this game. And it showed on Sunday. So I'm gonna say excited. I'm glad we got this win, division win. We want to know everybody else in the division is 0-1. Can't be more happy than that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys probably knew you were going into that game getting that dub. Since Nico Collins is the Colts killer, that man goes
Coach Killer.
off against the Colts. Stroud looks like in midseason form. Stephon Diggs got a couple touchdowns in sync with Stroud, and like you mentioned, Joe Mixon in that running game. I think that's a very underrated signing this past offseason. I don't think Joe
Yes.
Mixon was particularly washed up. I just think it was the system that he made it need to get a little bit more touches and love to show his worth with, because the Bengals, they had Joe Mixon, they had
Yep.
Jamar
Yep.
Chase, they had
Yep.
Joe
T.
Burrow
Higgins,
throwing his
Tyler Boyd.
yeah. So
It was a very pass happy
Eifert,
offense. So I
right?
get it.
Eifert was with them for a little bit of time.
Yep.
So uh like I was mentioning before, I think our defense does, can match up with your guys' offense. Will you guys have some explosive plays? 100%. I mean, CJ
Mm,
Stroud, Nico, Steph, and Tank Dell. You can't cover them all at once and have a perfect game, but
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
more of our offense that we have more question marks about, especially after
Mhm.
last week. That I'm a little bit more worried about, because you guys have Danielle Hunter, someone that I was advocating for the Bears to sign
Oh
opposite
yeah.
side of
Damn
Montez
Hunter.
Sweat last year. You
Yep.
guys got Will Anderson. I know you guys got a couple stud corners that you guys picked high in the draft. So
Yep.
that's more of the question marks for me. But after you watched your game last week, where would you say some areas of your team that you're not the most confident in, or you didn't love so much, areas to concern that maybe the Bears could try to exploit?
I you know what? I think that one of my concerns were, well, I have two concerns really. It's the safeties. It's our safeties. I mean, of course, Jimmy Ward is a veteran. He's been in the game. He knows a lot. He's one of the big goals guys. Great player, but I feel like our safeties are looking in the backfield too much, and that's why a lot of those Anthony Richardson passes got behind their heads because and like I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because I'm pretty sure the game plan was do not let Taylor go crazy. Keep Jonathan Taylor quiet. If we're going to stack the box and get a little closer to the line of scrimmage, that's fine. Let Anthony Richardson beat us with his arm, not his legs. Let's keep him contained, and we'll play shell coverage like that. So I guess they were just so worried about the run game that hey, we're gonna bite on it, play action. I'm still sit here. Oh wait, the ball's over my head. So I'll give him some grace over that. I think you guys can, as far as like nickel matchup wise, because we have Petrie rotating out the star and the nickel. So I think because you have Komet, right, the tight end.
Yeah, he.
Is
So
he
not
is
to
he
get
injured?
too much. No, he's not injured, but not to get too much
Okay.
into the Bears football over here that's been talked about all week on Chicago Sports
Mm,
Radio, and just kind of content I've been talking about is Komet is our number one tight end, but he wasn't. He got less plays than Gerald Everett last week because Gerald Everett was in Shane Waldron's previous,
um,
offenses and stuff like that. So with Keenan Allen questionable slash doubtful, with Roma Dunze questionable slash doubtful, really hoping to see two tight end sets and getting Cole Kmet more involved in this offense, especially with the
exactly.
pass protection, because the interior of our offensive linemen are cheeks. We
Mm-hmm.
they had a long day against Simmons and Sweat last week against the Titans, where your guys'
Yeah,
strength and your defensive line is the edges, not the interior. So hopefully
correct.
we're able to match up a little bit better there and not have that pressure in Caleb's face 2 seconds into snapping the ball. So a long story short, yeah, Cole Kmet is our dude. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. I feel like another weakness is like our linebackers. I feel like that's the reason we have Petrie in the box because we don't really have any linebackers. We have Aziz, and that's really it. To me, that's our true linebacker. We have Henry Toto, who out there have give us some plays and whatnot. But as far as like our true linebacker, we have Christian Harris on IR for the first 4 weeks, so we're missing him as well. So I think with the tight end, if you guys utilize your tight ends, D'Amico plays such soft coverage that you could get 4 yards every play if you run the right route with your tight end. If you know how to scheme your tight end open, that's an easy check down because our linebackers can get there fast enough, in my opinion. Also on the offensive side of the ball, I think because last week was the first time our offensive line starters played together, it was a little choppy. And I tell everybody all the time, the coach know how to blitz and they can get to CJ Stroud pretty easily. And I feel like one of the reasons because the offensive line hasn't really gelled to where they can depend on the guy next to them and say, hey, I know how Titus plays. If this stunt goes, I got this guy. I know Titus going to have this guy. And I know Tunsil's going to have this guy if I switch over to this guy. So I think communication is going to help the offensive line in the long run, but they got to stay healthy and they got to continue to play together. Our center Juice may not play Sunday, so this will be another caveat. If we have another center play on Sunday, maybe it's going to be Patterson. Who knows how that's going to look? So we'll see. I feel like those are my two weaknesses: the offensive line and our safeties. They just keep the coverage, don't bite, keep your eyes on your own zone. I think we'd be okay.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty interesting. So now it kind of gives me a little bit more hope on the offensive side for the Bears a little bit in terms of we got if Tyler Scott comes in instead of Keenan Allen or Roma Dunze or speedster
Hmm.
vertical threat or Velus Jones. I hope Velus Jones doesn't even travel
Yep.
with the team. Don't even get me started on Velus Jones. Maybe there's some deep shots we can take. And then you mentioned Cole Kmet and the two, maybe our two tight end sets. That's going to help with the pass protection with their lack of depth of offensive line and trying to establish a run game. Maybe there could be opportunities there, and just hoping for a
Hmm.
better game offensively. I have the Bears losing this game, and we'll talk about score
Okay.
predictions, right before you head out. But just I had in our scheduled predictions that we did earlier in the off season. I had the Bears losing this game, but what us Bears fans are hoping for is like, all right, when we before last week, we're like, all right, we're gonna lose to the Texans, but let's make it like a
Hmm.
35-30 blowout, like nice offensive game. Maybe Caleb Williams can
Hmm.
have a big day, throw some touchdowns, give us a vote
Yep.
of confidence heading into the next few games. Um, but yeah, so I'm hoping for a better offensive performance from the Bears, and I'm excited for our defense to have this test against the Texans because probably one of the better offenses that will play outside of maybe the 49ers and the Lions this year. To really say, I've been saying we have the best secondary in the league, best
Hmm.
linebacking group in the league. Where our lack of our weakness is the edge rusher opposite side of Montez Sweat. There's gonna be a lot of rotational players in and their fresh legs coming in and out. But I'm really excited for this matchup, and I cannot wait for this game because I really want to see our offense play better, but I want to see how well our defense matches up to an offense that you guys got.
And I had a question. Who do you think? Because does Jalen Johnson travel, or is he set in stone on one side?
I think he shadows. I think he will shadow,
Shadows.
but I
Who
don't.
do you think he shadows?
I would maybe say Nico.
Nico.
Yeah,
That's what everyone's thinking to Houston. They're thinking he's going to follow Nico.
but I have so much confidence also in Tyreek Stevenson that like one thing if we our other corner was like kind of cheeks, but he's not that bad. He actually won
Yeah, yeah,
Defensive
yeah,
Player of the
yeah.
Week. So Tyreek Stevens is actually really good. He had a pick six last week, but I wouldn't mind.
Hmm.
And he likes to get physical. Tyreek likes to get physical, and I think he might match up better with Diggs because doesn't like. I
Yeah,
think
he's
Diggs
physical.
gets a little frustrated when people start touching it. I remember from the Buffalo Bills
Yes.
day, like you start getting in Diggs' head early, and Tyreek Stevens is the perfect person to get in Diggs' head early. But I think I just have confidence in both of our corners, and then even our nickel there with Kyler Gordon will match pretty well. I think he'll
Okay.
be
Okay.
with Tank Dell a little bit.
So as a Bears fan going into that game, who are you saying this person can't kill us? Who is the person on the offensive side for Texans saying if we keep him quiet, we have a chance?
If we keep him quiet, we have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm not really too worried about. I would say like just CJ. We need to make sure we get pressure on CJ, and
Okay.
I don't know if that's too
Pressure on
cliche. I don't
CJ.
know if that's a cop
No, no,
out.
no, no. That makes sense. Hey,
I don't know if
that
that's
makes
a
sense.
cop out picking the quarterback, but like CJ, he's one of the top five, top
Yeah.
seven quarterbacks in the league. And one of our biggest weaknesses, like I mentioned, I've been saying all offseason, I kept saying in this show right now, is opposite side of Montez Sweat. We know if Montez Sweat is lined up one on one,
Yeah.
he's going to get there, but chances are he's going to get double team, he's going to get chipped. So
Yeah.
who is going to pressure CJ? Who's going to create that pressure? Because CJ does like to hold on to the ball a little. How many
He does.
was there like four
Yes.
sacks last game? Like
Yes.
so if
Yes.
we can get
Yes.
pressure on him, get in a strip sack fumble, getting takeaways is going to be key. That's how we won last week's game. And no, we don't want to go to the Chicago Bears that I've been watching the last 29 years of my life in defense
Mhm.
and special teams winning. We want to see some offensive play, but
Yeah.
takeaways are going to be key. So if we can get pressure on CJ, get sacked, not let him go off and all these deep passes to Nico and stuff, I feel like we have a chance.
Okay. Okay.
If that's not a cop out with picking CJ there.
No, 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 no. Not a cop out at all. Not a cop out at all. That was good. That was a good one because I feel like I said, my offensive line. Hey, people praise him a lot, and I just want to make sure because I try to be realistic about my offensive line, and I know that we can let people come free, and there's CJ Stroud running for his life and trying to make a play outside the pocket. So definitely, if we can keep him clean, and that's what I felt about Caleb Williams too. As a rookie, primetime game, we have to make him uncomfortable. We have to make Caleb Williams uncomfortable, make him think Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson is right there on his shoulder, ready to make a sack. So that way he makes mistakes for our DBs because we was almost there to Anthony Richardson, but he just athletic and got out the pocket.
Yeah.
He knows how to move out the pocket. I don't know so much about Caleb Williams' athleticism. I think he's more of a pocket passer and he wants to just dot you up accurately. He's very accurate. So if we can keep him contained in the pocket, make him make a little mistakes, rattle him, and we'll see what happens. Because normally last year, what happens with the Texans is you go into a game with saying, "Oh yeah, we can, yeah, the Falcons. Oh, we're gonna beat the Falcons. They got Desmond Ritter, and Desmond Ritter dots you up all game, just dots you up all game. Your defense looks foolish. Then you go into Carolina. Oh, we got Bryce Young. We're gonna shut down this rookie, and then Bryce Young stays in the game, and then you end up in a tight game for no reason, and you lose the game by field goal. So that's what we can't do. We can't go into this game saying how you saying like, oh, there's no Keenan Allen, there's no Rome. The running game wasn't that good last week. We can't just use last week and say, hey, this should be a guarantee win. I need them to come focus. I almost want to say I need it to be a statement game so that people in the league can look at the Texans and say, okay, they're not a joke. They're for real. Even though maybe because they say, hey, you beat the Bears. But sometimes you have to beat the teams in front of you and beat them in a way to where the NFL, the other teams look at you like, oh, that's not a joke. We already have a target on our back. They had CJ in every commercial. He was all around different leagues and in different media. Apparently, he's the new media darling for quarterback. He just signed with Jordan, so it's going to be a lot of hype around CJ Stroud, and everyone's going to look to see when will he fall off the cliff. Is this the sophomore slump game? Can he keep this team afloat? So hopefully we go into Houston, especially that being our first game at home of the season. I need that to be a statement game on Sunday Night Football where everyone's watching and they can look at the Texans and say, oh, yeah, they're not a joke anymore.
No, it's gonna be a good game. I can't wait. And we got Young Rider 94 in the YouTube chat saying Bears upset Texans Sunday night. South Texas bear down. So we got a Texan Bears fan in the
I
chat.
love it.
So
I love it.
no, yeah, I think it'll be a really good game. I'm super excited for it Sunday night. And like you mentioned, is there a sophomore? He looked like he played well last week. He does hold on the ball, but
Yep.
that's CJ. I mean, he got sacked a couple times, but I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. Might be a little bit of, let's give him another year. Let's see what happens after this year. But
Mm-hmm.
he's at least a top 5, top 7 quarterback in this league. And no, there's not really any signs of last week that showed us of a sophomore slump so far. So,
Yep. So far, so good.
in terms of injuries, I looked it up. I don't think you guys have too many injuries. I saw MJ Stewart and Shrugs.
Yep.
MJ
Safety.
Stewart is out.
Yep.
Shrugs is questionable.
Yep.
Those two players' name don't ring a head for me, but obviously they probably do for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Right now, Scruggs is our starting center. So,
You
and that's what I
mentioned that.
mean by
Okay.
consistency. Consistency. Can you keep the same offensive line, especially a center, because the quarterback and the center is like a tandem. You have to make sure they're on the same page. If not, you have a lot of missed fumbles. You have a lot of missed snaps, and the ball's not coming out the right way, and the quarterback used to the ball coming out a certain way with a certain center. And even like the center is the quarterback of the offensive line, so he's calling out who's the mic and who to pick up and where's the blitz coming from. So a lot of those taking factor, especially when it's a Sunday night game and everyone's going to be excited and it's NBC and everyone and you prime time now. So a lot of people get a little bit hands get a little sweaty. Hands get a little sweaty during prime time games when you know people are watching you. So I just hope if Scruggs doesn't play, I think I can be okay with it because last year Patterson was a starter for a good amount of time, and I think Patterson and CJ Stroud still have a good little connection. So hopefully they've been working through it this week, and it shouldn't be no problems. And also MJ Stewart, he's our backup safety, but I think because we're pushing Petrie more in the nickel star position, that Petrie's close to the line of scrimmage and he's following tight ends and trying to make sure if he needs to blitz, he come off the edge. It doesn't look too obvious as a safety coming up from the all the way from his spot to the line of scrimmage. So MJ Stewart had a lot of snaps, but I think they like Kalen Bullock, our rookie from USC, in that position. So I think it's going to be more Jimmy Ward, Kalen Bullock in the back, and they're gonna have Petrie just roam around and follow whoever needs to follow, tight end wise or running back wise from your offense.
Okay. Okay. That's that's good to know. Center position's banged up. I mean, our
Mm-hmm.
center's cheeks anyway, so he is really bad. And Coleman Shelton, he had a rough day against the Tennessee Titans. You might as well put.
And that's Simmons. Everybody have a rough day against Simmons. Simmons ain't
Yeah, and
no walk in
Sweat,
the
the
park.
rookie Sweat, he's a
It was Sweat.
beast.
Oh, it was Sweat
Oh,
from Texas.
yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
They were
Oh,
tearing it up back there.
okay.
Pause, but they're going
Woo.
crazy at that line of scrimmage for us. So,
I had a question about last week. Did you think you was gonna win that game against the Titans,
oh,
or did you feel
100%.
like
I didn't think we are gonna win that
really
way. Not that way. I
got
thought
you?
would Caleb would have at least a couple touchdowns. Well, I did
Okay,
expect like the Bears to have takeaways and interceptions, but I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
expecting Caleb to have 93 yards, not 10 completions, and
Mhm.
us running for 22 yards on the ground with DeAndre Swift. That's not how I did expect Will Levis to throw a couple interceptions. I had that in our guest of the week predictions when we were talking with Tyler from Lockdown Titans, and then I did expect them to win. I got them 13-4 this season. We have that on the Bucks on the record in the
Mhm.
video and during when the schedule release came out. I do have them losing this game, but hopefully we see a little bit more progress offensively wise. But I say I have them losing this week, but like, and not to get have my cake and eat it too, but there's like 17% of me that is like, I feel like the Bears are gonna win this game. It's gonna be something. It's Sunday night, like
You
maybe
never
this is
know,
game.
man.
It's like only 17% of me, but like
Yep.
you just never know. It's the NFL. You never know, and especially with the weapons that we got on offense and defense, it's never just you guys are favored by 6.5.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do
It's
you
just
guys
that's pretty big. A touchdown.
do you have sports betting in Texas? Is it legal in Texas?
No, no, it's not legal in Texas. No, no,
No.
no. We can do DraftKings, but we can't do like FanDuel and stuff like
Well,
that.
you have DraftKings.
Yeah, so we can do like daily fantasy and we do like prize picks, but we can't do like
Oh, like you
straight up
can't.
money line.
Oh, okay, you can't do any of that
Yeah.
stuff. Okay. Well, you could use like Bovada, like a website with
Yeah,
Bovada.
exactly. You gotta do it. Hey, I've done that before. I've done it on the radar. Go to Bovada. Trust me. Just
Yeah,
move a
I
little,
use
move a
Bovada
little change
before.
over there and get your what you call a crypto back. You'll get your
Yeah,
money back.
yeah. I used to do that back in the day before it came legal here in New
Yep.
York. Oh yeah, I used to live in Austin, Texas. That's how I meant to say that. I used to live in Austin, Texas. Is
Okay.
like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
one of my favorite cities. One of my favorite cities. I would love to live there, but yeah, Austin's one of my favorite cities. I've been to
Okay.
Dallas for a Bears and Cowboys game back in 2011, but I've never been to Houston. But I've heard good things.
Okay.
Always wanted to
Okay.
go. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, last thing I guess regarding the game, and then we can do score predictions that I had here,
Mhm.
and we might have even kind of covered it. But like, who is your one player the Bears should look out for? This upcoming Sunday night. Like maybe who is it should look out for, or like who is like your bold? Like what's your bold prediction? For the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, my bold prediction. Last week, he was really quiet. He was really quiet. He on road games, he's a little iffy. I don't say iffy, but inconsistent. I think they just went away from him because the run game was going so great. But I think this is Tank Dale's game. I think this is going to be a Tank Dale CJ Stroud type game. Like I said, they didn't really utilize him last week. He had a reverse and a couple of catches, maybe. But at home, CJ and Tank just work so well together. I don't know whether the chemistry or not, but I think this is going to be Tank Dale's 2 touchdown game. I feel like last week was Stephon Diggs. This week going to be Tank Dale.
Okay, bold prediction. Clip it.
Yep.
Send it.
Yep.
You can clip it and put on your on
That's
your
right. That's right. If you got Tank Dale, start him on your fantasy. I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
You also said kind of start Colt Kmet. You also kind of said that too.
Yeah. Hey. If you got him, yep. Start Cole Kmet too.
Or at least
Because
get
he
the
gonna be
player
key.
prop bet, like the 1.5 receptions for 12 yards. That might be an easier one to do.
Yep.
We got Judah in the chat over here. Show us that trophy. I got some trolls in our community, so I apologize on behalf of my channel.
You good? Trust me, they everywhere.
Show us that trophy case. Tell your QB killer. Oh, apparently, I think that's why Judah came in the beginning of the stream. He was a little salty. Apparently, CJ was talking trash about Chicago or the Bears today. I didn't see it.
Hey, I didn't see it. I haven't been on the
pod.
social
Maybe it was
media
on the
today.
pod with Micah or something.
But hey, you know what? A lot of people, and that's funny because a lot of people say he's such a big trash talker. He's from Cali. He's from Cali. You know Cali, and they talk a lot in Cali, and he has a lot of confidence. So it wouldn't surprise me if he said something about Chicago Bears. But sometimes you need that as a quarterback. You need your quarterback to have a little grit, a little confidence in him, even if it may seem arrogant. But he's very humble. He thanks his Lord and Savior after every game, after every press conference. He just running for his team, and we love that about CJ. We love that he don't take note, and we don't take note. So I love it.
And then he's like, Judah said, no one's a threat on Houston. They're all overrated. So definitely starting over already.
I love it, man. I love it. That's how it's supposed to be. You ain't supposed to big up the other team. That's how it's supposed to be. They all overrated. I overrated. I love it. I love it, man.
I got let's do score predictions, and I got something a little
Okay.
fun for us to do. Houston Texans trivia. We're gonna test. We have got 2 trivia questions that I quickly made on a graphic, and let's see your Houston Texans knowledge. But first, let's do a score prediction.
I'm about to get roasted. Hold on. Hopefully I know him. Let's
Well,
see.
we're clipping it. If we don't, hope we get your consent to clip it. we gotta get and I'll tag you
Okay.
in it too. But what's your score prediction for the game?
Like I said, I want it to be a statement game, so I'm just going to go as a homer. I'm going to ride with them and say 31-14. Let's make it uncomfortable for Caleb Williams. Let's have a statement game, statement win this Sunday. 31-14 Texans.
Damn, that's like worst case scenario for us, Bears Nation. That's crazy. 14 points? Only 14 points?
Only hey, y'all didn't score a touchdown last week, so I'm giving you grace.
And maybe those
I'm
two,
giving you
maybe
grace.
those 14 points is a kick return and a pick six, I guess. When Davis Mills is playing in the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh yeah, one more thing after the score predictions, I gotta say a thank you on behalf of Bears Nation. I got Houston 24-20. I think our defense holds up a little bit closer. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm not trying to be a homer with every hot take I do on our page, but I did have the Bears losing this in our schedule prediction, even though we're going 13-4 this season. Got them losing 24-20. Hopefully, a better offensive game performance from Caleb Williams. Maybe just a couple touchdowns. You got a couple field goals from Cairo Santos. Defense keeping the Texans to 24 points. I think is a little bit of a moral victory considering their offense. And just establishing the run game, getting better personnel over there is going to be huge for me. A couple things that I want to be watching for the game, but I got the Houston Texans winning 24-20, unfortunately, but we got to clear some of the biases in our take. And there's one thing I also want to do on behalf of Bears Nation, and you can tell Texans Nation this, a big thank you to the greatest Houston Texans quarterback of all time. On January 8th, 2023, Davis Mills and the greatest head coach in Chicago Bears and Houston Texans history, Lovie Smith, marched down the field, and came back to beat the Indianapolis Colts 32-31, and that blessed us with the first overall pick in 2023 draft, which we then finessed Chef Ryan Poles, the king of the North, the greatest general manager in the history of sports, fleeced the Carolina Panthers in getting DJ Moore, a ninth pick, a first pick in next year's draft, would end up being the first overall pick again, a fourth rounder. All these picks turned into Keenan Allen, Tyreek Stevenson, Montez Sweat. So on behalf of Chicago Bears Nation, we want to thank you and the greatest quarterback that ever played in a Houston Texans jersey, Davis Mills, and the greatest coach to ever be on the sidelines of the Houston Texans, Lovie Smith, and also the greatest Chicago Bears coach of all time, for giving us and blessing us with that gift. Amen.
It was a ploy. It was all a ploy. He was in cahoots with the Chicago Bears, because that's his team. So, Lovie Smith, man, hey, you know what? I enjoyed this time here. Sad that the way it had to end, but I think everything happened for a reason. We lost that game. I believe we would have took Bryce Young if we would have lost that game. If we had the first overall pick, I think they would have leaned toward Bryce Young. So the fact that we got the second overall pick, the Panthers took Bryce Young, and CJ Stroud just fell into our wonderful Houston Texans hands, and it's been blissful ever since. I promise you, I would love to have that Hail Mary play as a statue outside of NRG Stadium, and Lovie Smith right there standing next to it with his beard and everything, because that changed our franchise forever. So thank you to the Bears as well for winning y'all game. We lost our game. So it worked out for both sides, apparently.
I forgot what they're, because I paid a close eye to this. I forgot what they were saying, that I don't know if the Houston Texans would have picked Bryce or if they wouldn't, and CJ was always on their radar. And from what I've heard and saw and read with Chicago, they were never going to
take a quarterback that draft.
Yeah, I think they were always going to try to trade that pick. They were trying to give Justin, I guess, another year, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it was crazy how all that turned out. And if Caleb, Ryan Poles is still being evaluated on this trade from the 2023 draft, because CJ Stroud is having so much success. So obviously that puts pressure on Ryan Poles and saying, hey, you could have had CJ and you went to Caleb. So Caleb and CJ will be being compared in a similar light, not just as young quarterbacks in the league, but because of the results and the outcome of this trade. So I'll be really interested to see how this turns out, and this game's gonna be crazy. I'm super excited just thinking about it.
Yes.
Let's do a little bit of trivia here, Bo. It's Bo, right?
Go.
It's Bo.
Yep, it's Bo. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. What you got for me?
All right, let me get a couple things set up.
What you
here.
got
I'm a
for me?
one-man band over here, so my community is
No,
gonna be
hey, I
on
get it. I
stream.
get it. Hey,
Oh,
hey,
there's
I
also
understand.
before we get off, I do want to talk a little bit of content with you and just kind of
Okay.
we skipped over that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
But let me see screen share. Okay, look, we lit chat. We lit. Okay, I know what I'm doing, kind of. Let's see. Um, Screen share. You can see the third green, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Not
Yep.
green, but green. Uh, oh, here we go. The good thing that I didn't put the passwords on here, or not the passwords, but the answers, because I just had to zoom
The
out for you.
answer.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to do this. All
Gotcha.
right,
Gotcha.
cool. All right, Houston, and I just put. If I had more time, I'm just my to do list is crazy. But wait, can you see that still? Wait a second. All right, we're gonna go right here. I
Yeah.
just can't see your face. All right. So I would have put more questions on here, but we got number one, and don't be don't be googling anything.
Yeah. I'm not Googling right. I don't know why, but it's showing a blurry on my side. Let me see real quick. Let me
Let
see
me
if I can look
see.
at it from
Is it still blurry?
the video. Okay, okay, perfect. So I can see it on this screen right here.
Oh, okay, you on the stream?
Yeah, on the
Okay,
stream. Okay.
cool. So Houston Texans trivia. This is single season rushing leaders. I got two question marks. In 2022,
I should know this. I should know
yes,
this.
you should. That's the whole point.
I
That's what
should
has
know
to do
this.
with the trivia. Houston Texans single rushing leaders. You got Damian Pierce in 2022.
Yep.
2021, you had David Johnson. I forgot about him. 2000
Insane.
and he only had like 497 in
Yes, it was
2021.
crazy.
2020, I think he only had like 600. 2020, David Johnson. In 2019, who was the single season rushing leader in 2019?
Okay. Okay. I hope I don't mess this up because I really feel like it's this person right here. He's a forgotten player, but I'm gonna say Carlos Hyde.
2019?
Is that yeah?
Final answer?
I sound like it's wrong now, but I'm right. I'm rocking with it.
All right. No, that's right. That is correct. Give it to Bo. Give it to
Woo!
Bo.
Woo! Okay.
Texas Nation. You didn't have to roast him
Okay.
yet. You didn't have to roast him yet,
Thank you.
but all right, in 2008, between 2016 and 2018, it was Lamar Miller who you mentioned. In
Yep.
2015, who was a single
Okay.
season Russian leader?
2015.
Don't be googling. What you looking? What are you doing on your
No,
phone?
I'm not googling.
Oh,
Trust me, I'm not googling.
okay.
Hands up, not googling. I'm not googling. 2015. God, man, I don't think it was this person because I feel like that was the year it was a bad year for him. 2015. We traded Lamar Miller away the year after, but he was still there. Aaron Foster can't be though.
Final
I
answer.
feel like that was his down year. 2015.
Well, that wasn't final answer.
No. Hold up. No, it wasn't Tate. Aaron Foster. Final answer. Damn it. Who was it?
Alfred Blue.
Alfred Blue?
Yeah, I think
Oh
that was the
my
year Aaron Foster
God.
got hurt. I knew it was gonna be a hard
Alfred.
question because Aaron Foster was like the previous like 4 years.
Got you. He a little further down. Alfred
Flip it
Blue
and
was
ship
so
it,
bad.
Texans Nation.
He was so bad. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, y'all. He was so bad. I could
That
not
was a
stand
little
seeing.
trick one. You got
I
there.
couldn't stand seeing 28 in the backfield. Every time I saw Alfred Blue in the backfield, I said, "Up, this game over with. This is a lost
I
game."
remember people trying to pick him up in fantasy. I remember Alfred
Oh
Blue's
my
name
Lord.
like vividly.
That probably was his only high Russian season.
Because I think
Lord
Foster
have
got
mercy.
hurt that
Alfred
year
Blue.
or
Okay.
something.
Alfred Blue, 2015. I should have known it because that's the Hard Knocks year, I believe. And that was JJ Watt, and they had Brian Cushing talking to Alfred Blue. So maybe, yep, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Clip it and ship it.
Clip it, y'all. Kill me. That's all good.
All right, now we got another one. And don't mind
Okay.
my first grade graphics here. I had to quickly chef these up for us. But
Okay.
Houston Texans trivia question number 2.
Mm-hmm.
First round draft picks. You have your
What you
list of
got?
first round draft picks. 2022, Derek Stingley. 21, the GOAT, Davis Mills. 2020, Ross Blacklock. 2019, Titus Howard. 2018,
Yep.
Justin Reed. In 2017, well, who was their first round draft pick?
In 2017. Okay, so Will Fuller was 15. 16 was, I believe, Kevin Johnson. 17, no, because Justin Reed. 17, our first round draft pick. Oh, no, no. God, it was Deshaun Watson. 2017, right?
Is that your final answer?
Because Dak was six. I think Dak was 16. We got him right after. I'm going to Deshaun Watson 2017.
That is correct.
Okay, I'm about to say it gotta be Deshaun Watson, man. Gotta be.
And that man is cooked right now. On and
Oh
off the
my
field.
goodness,
That man,
yes,
I don't know
he
what
done.
happened to him.
Bless his man. Hey, man.
He lost. He
It's
left the
one of them
Houston
things, bro.
Texans, and I don't know. He was on the trajectory to be a top 5 quarterback in the league with the
Yep.
Texans, and then
Trials and tribulations.
yeah, then life happens, I guess.
Yes, yep. Make the wrong choices, and this is where he at. And like I tell everybody, that's the Browns' problem now. Thank you, Browns fans, for that trade.
Oh my
Just like
gosh,
we
you
wanted.
guys got a quite
Oh, yep.
the return on
A
that.
good fleece. The fleece of the century. That's gonna be an ESPN 30 for 30. The trade for Deshaun Watson. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
that and the one with Bryce Young too with
Yes,
the
yes.
Bears.
Y'all
The
too.
Bears,
Y'all
yeah,
gonna have one as well.
yep. Um, awesome, man. I appreciate you being on the stream. Oh yeah, just want to talk a little content with you if you got a couple
Yes.
seconds, a couple minutes.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I just
Go
want to
ahead.
learn a little
Go
bit
ahead.
more how you got into content. Obviously you're a Texans fan. Just tell me because I'm a creator myself, so just always kind of like
Yeah.
seeing the creator story and how you got into it and what is kind of like some of the short term and long term goals with it, and just going from
Gotcha.
there.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah. Social media, man. 2020 happened. Everybody knows COVID. Everybody was in the house. TikTok got going, and I finally downloaded because I was like, man, what else can you do? You're in the house all day. You go to work, come home in the house. So originally, my content was like movies content. Like I would do skits and I would do videos and I would like reenact movies, comedy stuff like that. But it was going pretty good, smooth, whatnot. But 2021 came around and it was Texans turmoil. It was a lot going on. We didn't know what was going to happen. Very, very bad seasons before. I mean, we just had the one good year before the 2020 happened, and everything just went to trash. So I said, you know what? I was going to do TikTok. I said, there's not a Texans creator. There is no Houston Texans creator on this app. I'm finna try to do that. So I post a couple videos. Like I said, it was in turmoil. So to me, it's easy to make videos when your team is bad. When your team is bad and you rep your team, people are going to make fun of you. They're going to move it. Negativity sells. I tell
Mm-hmm.
everybody this every time. I
Trolls will
don't try to
sell,
be
bro.
like trolls are going to sell, and I don't want to say like just do something crazy all the time. But if you, as a fan, are a fan of a team that's really bad, and you're going to always rock with them, and I think that's a lot of people give me grace about because they said, man, Bo, you was there when it was bad and you there when it's good. So you can't be called a bandwagon fans. But through those turmoil years, I found some sun in it. I found some happiness in it. I found, joy in kind of making fun of myself and, telling myself we're going 17-0. We had Davis Mills and people just start, interacting with the content. A lot of Texas fans follow me. A lot of fans from other teams, content creators follow me, and we, kind of did a little collabs here and there. So I enjoy it, man. I got a chance to connect with Toro, the mascot for the Texans. That was amazing. We did a couple of videos together. That was a blessing.
That's
I shout out
cool.
to Toro, one of the best mascots in the game. And that kind of gave me like a push and a light to say, hey, this is possible. This is possible. This could go somewhere if I just stay consistent and I just keep my head moving forward and never look in the back and don't let trolls. One big thing, if you're a content creator, do not let trolls stop you. Don't let no one in the comments stop you. Keep going, make your content. If it makes you happy, keep doing what you're doing. So I did that. The Houston Texans follow me. That was another push that I needed.
Oh,
So when I
really? The
saw they followed me
Texans?
on TikTok, yeah,
That's
the
cool.
Texans followed me on TikTok. So when that happened, I was like, okay, I'm doing something right. So like I said, I just enjoy it, man. Been doing it since 2021. Met a lot of people. Started a pod. Well, not started, but I joined the Texans podcast. So I've been doing that since last season. So it's just been it's been real fun, man. And like I said, content is about consistency, engaging with the people who's engaging with your content, making a I don't say a community, but just make it to where if someone comments, I try to make it my point. If someone comments on my videos, I try to reply to them back
No, for
because they
sure.
didn't have to comment, they didn't have to like, they didn't have to share it.
Yeah.
It was times where I post a video and I see one view, and it was like, man, I'm posting this content, nobody's looking. But as like I said, you stay consistent, you just keep making your content, just stay you, stay who you are, and I try to duplicate what somebody else is doing, and it's gonna roll into come into fruition the way you want it to. And so my plans, like I never told, I never really had a plan per se. I feel like I need to have a plan because I feel like when you have a plan, you map out a guide of what you want, it comes to fruition. So maybe if I can collaborate more with the Texans, maybe do like some media stuff, be out there on the field, talk to the players, get some more content on that end. Who knows? Have a show that's dedicated just purely to the Texans, and the Texans back themselves. So that's kind of what my plan is. Who knows? Who knows what happened in the future? But like I said, I'm just keeping steady, doing my content, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, you're kicking ass on TikTok specifically. I saw
Yeah, I
I
appreciate it.
came
Yeah.
across your page. So I try to just do, guest of the weeks, talking to a content creator
Mhm.
that's similar creator types of you and I of the opposing team.
Yep.
That is that the Bears are going to be upcoming plan, and I'm trying to get some Bears creators on here as well. So when I was just searching Houston Texans in terms of the SEO on TikTok or Instagram, and I just came across your page, and I was like,
Mhm.
yo, let me reach out to Bo because we both we there's a lot of creators that are into like the X's and O's and like really
Yep.
into like the football side of it where I'm like I on my bios you see what I'm like I'm not an expert, I'm not an analysis, I'm not an
Yeah, yeah,
analysis,
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
I'm
We're
just
not
like a
here talking
crazy
about tour
bear.
personnel, living personnel. We just enjoying the game, breaking down what you see with your eyes,
Yeah.
and just enjoying the content on that end. We ain't gotta be no coach with a whiteboard. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
actually, if Titus Howard would have spun and used his insight, we ain't gotta do all that. Just be a
No,
fan
for
and
sure.
enjoy the game.
No, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. So glad I came across your page. Would love to continue.
yeah.
Maybe we can do some collaborations, especially when it comes to the Super Bowl when it's Bears and Texans. We can have a
Mm.
part two.
Oh, you already know.
Do you play? Do you do any? So I do a little bit of variety gaming, more of the off season when it's a little bit more time for the content. But do you do any? Do you play any gaming like Madden or Warzone or anything like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I play Madden. I used to stream a lot last year. I've been really slow on it this year, but yeah, I play Madden, NCAA, all that stuff. And like I said, I was big streaming it last year. That helped my content too, streaming on TikTok and Twitch and all the other stuff. So I got to get back into that mode. But like I said, I just been so focused on the Texans and just making content and just so excited about this season that I really haven't even played Madden that much online.
Yeah,
So I got to get back to that swing of that.
I haven't played Madden in like 10, 15 years. I'm gonna be chalked, but I'm down to do like a Madden stream one day. Do you play Warzone?
Yeah,
Do you play Warzone at all?
I do play Warzone. Yep.
So Warzone's more
Yep.
my game in terms
At your
of
feet right now. I
uh
love it.
yeah, I haven't played in a since like June or July. We've been kind of locked in with the football season, but one day of the week I'm trying to do some variety gaming with my
Okay.
community with creators or whatnot. So maybe we can get you we can schedule a Warzone and a Madden. Are you
Oh
really
yeah.
good at Madden? Are you the person that will like adjust the line of scrimmage and the audibles and like user
You know what?
user
as far
corner?
as as far as all my games, Madden is my best game as far as like breaking it down. But I'm just now getting used to like adjusting corners to always stay when he needs to stay at. I'm not that great. I'm good enough to like mic the linebacker and slide the line over a little bit. But as far as like how I play some players to where no matter what you do, that cornerback will not leave that spot and it's a pick every time. I'm not that good yet. I'm not no professional.
Yeah, all right, we can try. We can try because
Yeah,
all I
yeah,
know how to
yeah,
do
yeah,
is
yeah.
like I usually just get the the defensive tackle
The end.
and
Yep.
or the end, and I'll run and try to chase. I
Yep.
got see like you got people like Sketch and like all these people that play Madden
Oh
for
yeah, no, they know
20.
all the ins and outs of
And I'm
that
like, dude,
game.
it's like how you're acting like you're Peyton Manning over here calling audibles and like you're Brian Urlacher on the other side. How are you doing? Use your safety. Like, what? I would be so scared to touch to use safety when I was playing as a kid. But definitely down to do that once I kind of get this other my other days of the week down in terms of my stream schedule. Would love to get some Warzone, and as long as do I got to
Yeah.
carry you in Warzone? Are you cheeks
You
at
probably
Warzone?
do. You probably have to carry me. You probably have to carry me.
All
That and
right.
that's one thing.
Uh,
I'm good for about 2 or 3 kids. Depending on how you play, I can get more. But for the most part,
we'll use you as the
I'm good
bait.
about 2 or 3 kills.
We'll use you as the bait. Yo, Bo, go buy our teammate
Yeah,
backpack. I
exactly.
got you,
I'm
bro.
the guinea pig. I'm the guy to be like, all right, let me see if anybody in the if I die, I'll come back and I'll help.
Yo,
That's
come
who I am.
come res me real quick, Bo. You're
Exactly.
the med. You're the medic. You're the
Exactly.
medic. Well, I appreciate your time so much on this Friday night, but it was so much fun talking ball, talking this matchup with you. Hoping that we can connect here in the future again. I'll DM you for some gaming nights and
Yep.
see how your schedule looks. But go
Yes,
Bears!
sir.
I can't wait for this game. And I appreciate you being on the podcast here. I'll push this out tomorrow. It'll be on Apple and Spotify if
Okay.
you ever want to re-listen. But obviously the
Perfect.
stream recording is on YouTube and Twitch still. But much appreciate your time today and go Bears.
Let's go. Swarm.